Um, you spoke about Nath as well. I know you got a huge admiration for him, and a couple of weeks ago you were in the Blues
Yeah.
camp. I would love to know what combos you guys had because I feel like you two in a room
Yeah.
together talking footy. Wow, I'd love to be a part of that. What was that like? What was that
It
experience
was a
like?
pretty cool experience, bro. Like at first I was starstruck. That's someone I looked up to. Obviously being a Penrith
Really?
junior, like I looked up to him. He played with my brother. Um, all like his footy just, talks for itself. But just, the type of guy he is, the type of bloke he is off the field, that's something that really, I guess, resonates with me.
Mm.
Just, how genuine he is. Um, Even, little things like interacting with fans and, making it important to them, that his presence there, you know, to give them confidence to be like, all right, I'm not just here to sign your, footy. I'm here to, or sign your jersey. I'm here to like have a bit of a conversation, even if it's, two sentences, like little things like that. Just understanding how he is as a person was awesome. But then, yeah, obviously when we had our footy talks, it was awesome to see. Like I sat in the spine meeting when we first got there, and it was just awesome to see how player driven it was. And not only just by Nathan, but you had Reese Robson in there talking about some of the things he's seeing markers do and A defenders do. Then you had Jerome talking about what his left edge are seeing, what he thinks is can really work for them. You had Dylan speaking about just their roles in terms of linking together, playing, what types of shapes.
Yeah.
But then, like a pretty cool conversation that I had with Nathan was, it kind of took me back because he come to me and asked me the question. He come to me and asked me like, he goes, on when you're running like a 7 block, obviously you got back rower leading inside half,
Yep.
you got fullback at the back with center and wing, kind of in a bit of a slingshot shape, fanning out with the fullback. He goes, when you run your 7 block, are you pre-calling the tunnel ball? Um, and I think the week before I went into camp, we played Souths, and I threw a tunnel ball to Herbie,
Is that because they're hard up and in?
and what I said to him was, I go back to the start of the year when we played the Broncos,
Yep.
and the whole week I'd previewed for their centers to be heavy jammers,
Yep.
and I go to our two centers like, I'm going to throw you a tunnel ball, and I was kind of preempting it, kind of just like I guess wishing for it to happen or hoping that it would happen. And what I noticed was when I threw the tunnel, I was kind of throwing it just for the sake of throwing it, and I wasn't reading any cues. And the one thing that I was, wanting to do on the tunnel was when the center jams, that's my cue to throw the
Yeah.
tunnel.
Yeah.
And he didn't jam. So I told like that's when I said to Nate, like when I started pre-calling it at the start of the year, it was never ever worked for us. The center would just get off, he'd defend it easily, would end up getting a bit of a negative play out of it. Whereas now, my cue is, like I said before, I'm looking upfield.
Mm.
If I see in the corner of your eyes jam the fullback,
That's your indicator.
that's my indicator to throw the tunnel. But like I said before about positioning, I told the centers if the fullback's in front of the center and I can't throw and I can't see the center, I won't throw it because the ball's going to go to the ground and I don't know if that's going to be I don't know if the winger's going to pick that up and run down the
Mm.
field.
Mm.
I'll just hold it.
Mm.
But with the centers, I've told them to stand literally a step in front of the fullbacks
Yeah.
so I can see them. Because if I can see them, I'll throw them the pass, but also to be right off the hip of the fullback. So it's not an 8 meter pass. Instead, it's only
Yeah.
like a 5 meter,
Yeah.
6 meter pass.
Yeah.
Like I'm not having to throw like a long cutout ball. So little things like that. Like he come and asked me about it, and it was pretty cool to have that conversation. And then he was just talking about how I guess how Kalen Ponga defended in that second Origin game, and just how it kind of disrupted, the way they wanted to attack because he kept putting himself as a genuine A.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that.
And not every fullback does that.
Yeah.
Some fullbacks would stand there, but then just fall out of the line, or some fullbacks will stand there and kind of ghost until their
Ghosts. Yeah.
markers come. Whereas Kalen Ponga, like whenever he stood there, he was moving up with the line. He was being a genuine A. Like he wasn't disregarding, anything or moving on to his next job. He was focusing purely as an A defender. So we just spoke about like different plays that you could get away with it, or trying to attack it. One little play they spoke about was, Reese Robson just stepping out and giving. one of the middles just a one-on-one with him to try and not try and score a try, but just to try and generate some ruck speed, a bit of a quick play of the ball. And then obviously, because he's in the tackle, he's stuck at marker.
Yeah.
So that means that you're going to have a genuine split, but then you're also not going to have anybody at the back to defend a kick if you're looking to kick through shape. And then another way was we can move the ball early to the back rowers. Someone like Liam Martin or Angus Crichton, they're going to generate ruck speed. So giving them early ball, just letting them, I guess, kind of beeline for the halves and to try and generate ruck speed that way, and then looking to play like a 2-shot sequence and then play back to the open side.
You set up on the short side and then swing late?
Yeah, I think that shape, they had like Jerome Holding as a wide 4.
Yep.
And then they kind of had like an arrow duo shape. But they said like Nathan won't dig into the line because it's hard to play the shape. With that shape, you're looking for a 6 and 4 split. But because Kalen puts himself in the line, you get 7 and 4. So then everyone takes a step wider.
That's sorry to cut you off. I find that strange because like the way Queensland defended, they were jamming hard up and in early too, but they had the numbers.
Yeah. I think it definitely throws off your attack.
Yeah.
Because 1, you can't play deep into the line.
Yeah.
And 2, when they put 7 in the line, you're not getting the right players on like running leads on the right mans.
Yeah,
I won't be able to ball play on when I get that split. I'm trying to look to ball play on 5 men, but because they all step a bit wider, 6 men's in front of me. So the only way I can get to them is by running sideways. And you know, any attack, it becomes bloody ineffective if you start heading towards the sideline. Once you start heading towards the sideline, the defense just slide off and they defend it easily. So they were just thinking about like ways that they can try and attack that. And because it's something different, like Kalen Ponga doesn't defend like that at Clubland.
No.
So it was cool to listen into how they would defend that, because like fullbacks are going to see that worked well for Queensland, and that was really effective for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, defensive coaches are going to start to implement that with their fullbacks. So it was cool to see just the way they spoke about that.
I love that. You know what that interaction reminds me of? I will never forget. Like I love my basketball, NFL. I love my American sports, and I remember an interaction between Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, and like you guys, like in very similar like situations. You know, Michael Jordan's accomplished so much in his career, and then Kobe was the new kid on the block with huge aspirations. Talked about heaps like as a new next up and coming player. That's very similar in that aspect, like that little interaction, which I found so cool.
That bit of an interaction,
Do you know which I'm talking about?
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Like it's in mid game. It's in the middle of a game too.
It's so cool to see it.